A lot of our members, when they've got a problem and they're trying to figure out who to reach out to within the Collective Genius, they don't necessarily know. So that's where I come in. So I have conversations about what problems they're struggling with, what they're trying to figure out, and who best to connect them with, whether it's another member or one of our service providers that we work with, and having those conversations to figure out what it is that they're trying to accomplish, where their problem is, and what their end goal is to try to figure out how to best work with them toward a solution. When a member's struggling, it probably means that they're not doing as well as they would like to in their business, and if they don't know who to connect with, that problem is just going to continue to exist within their organization. The longer those problems exist within their organization, it's prohibiting their ability to scale. It's prohibiting their ability to grow, and don't feel like they're necessarily achieving the goals that they want to be able to achieve. And that's where we come in, where we sit down, we have conversations with them. We help understand what their goals are from both a yearly and a long-term goals perspective. We try to figure out what the underlying problem is that they're facing. Maybe that they're saying is that they don't have a lot of deal flow right now within their system, but realistically it's lead flow. That's their problem. So we talk through what challenges they're seeing in terms of their lead flow. Is it from a marketing channel that isn't performing the way they would like to? And we figure out how best to come about that situation and get them going back in the right direction. So I've been a real estate investor for many, many years. I've worked in a variety of different roles. I've been a CEO, COO, and president of organizations. I've dealt with these conversations. I've had these issues with every different type of variety, whether it's working with lenders, working with deals, trying to create more opportunities. I understand the challenges that are directly in front of them, and I've also been a member of this organization at the premier level, so I understand exactly what it means to be a member of the Collective Genius and to want to seek out those answers at a very high level. And sometimes you don't have the ability to speak up, and sometimes you don't want to necessarily be vulnerable. So I know what position our members are in when I'm having those conversations with them. A lot of the results after kind of having that conversation is figuring out how to get back on track and find that clarity that they're looking for. Working with one of our select members, Carrick Young out of Ohio, working with him to try to figure out what really is his problem in the acquisitions world. And really it actually came down to not having an understanding of what the core values of the company is and are, and really understanding at a high level that you have to understand core values and be able to explain and speak to your core values to then go out and attract and retain high caliber people who are going to be attracted to what your core values are. So great conversation with him about understanding what those core values are to his company and what they are for his company, and then translating that on down the line to have those conversations with his team about what core values mean to him. Also working with Joseph Cadavos and his team out of Augusta, Georgia, working to try to figure out what's going on and how best to deal with different personalities on their acquisitions team. Whether it's looking to see what personality fits in what seat, how to go about looking at a personality test to figure out if this person might be a good fit, not only for the seat that they're in, but for their company overall, and the challenges that come when you maybe have the right person in the wrong seat or the wrong person in the seat that you desperately need to make sure is a high volume and a high producing seat. If you feel like you're struggling right now and figuring out how to scale responsibly, growing your team, putting that next step at the next phase of your business into actual actionable steps to take, that's when you should be reaching out to us so we can have those conversations with you and put a plan in place that you can take true steps from a 0 to 1, a 1 to 2, all the way on down the line to get you to the goals that you want to be able to achieve. When you're thinking about joining the Collective Genius, the thing that you really have to evaluate is the ability to scale and scale in the right way. And we're going to have a lot of conversations with you when you join that can get you to understand at a very, very clear and concise level what scaling means and how to scale responsibly, more importantly. And when you start to understand what that means and all that that's going to entail, that far outweighs the cost of just joining for a year or two. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, we would love to have a conversation with you, see if you qualify and would be a good fit for the Collective Genius.